This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Well, Sexy Red makes America proud. She busted open on the UK streets in front of everybody, stopping traffic, doing splits, acting like she's bouncing up and down on that pogo stick, trying to get pregnant by UK immediately, okay? It's very weird, okay? So then we got Gangsta Williams says, you know, BG has a right to feel like disappointed and his heart's broken. I mean, it's kind of weird. It might break my heart. Yeah, not many people stand tall. Okay, even BG has some funny stuff in his case. Okay, he's not. You can't really say he's a snitch, but like, you know, he did have to take the stand on some stuff that they got arrested for back in the day. I think it was 08 or 09. It was a traffic stop. Anyways, you know, Gangsta Williams, he told on a bunch of bodies and stuff, and you know, he's out here doing his YouTube thing because everybody wants to hear the inside. See, this is why Birdman should do interviews, because nobody would care about interviewing his brother that came out of jail. Nobody would care, you know, but that's their only way to get information on Birdman. That's a little different, you know. So anyways, now this guy's in the media. He says he forgives BG, but, you know, if he sees him, he's going to have a man-to-man talk and apply a little pressure for the things he's been saying. It's nothing really disrespectful, though. It will probably just be a talk. Just like with Turk and Birdman, people get all into the internal beefs between Cash Money and everything. But here's the thing you got to remember. Think about somebody you grew up with and you don't mess with them anymore. Would you actually put hands on that person? Or out of your respect for the past with them, would you let it go? Most people you would put hands on, but with them you wouldn't put hands on them. And that's how this situation is. It's like it's beef and business at the same time. Birdman feels like he raised these guys, so it's almost like his son going against him. He looks at Turk, Wayne, and these guys as like his sons, you know? So it's never going to be physical. You know, they'll have words, they'll be able to do business, and that's that. Rick Ross artist Nino Breeze accused of stealing a $7 drink from a bar. He's going to be, he does this little story. Nobody really cares, okay? This guy, he's talented, but he signed with Ross. Ross should really try to get him a deal with somewhere else where they could do better by him, because Ross hasn't really done much for his career. You know, Ross can't do much for his career. Nobody cares about Ross anymore like that with music. So, unless it has Drake attached to it. So anyways, my point here is that he's going to have bigger problems than a $7 drink at a bar. It's going to be Rick Ross kind of not having you on a contract and not doing anything with you. That's his next issue that he can't foresee. I saw this lawyer speaking out about, if you were looking at Big Meech as a snitch, you're just sadly mistaken. And, you know, I looked into all his paperwork and he didn't snitch. Nobody said he got out for snitching. There was an attempt to snitch through somebody else. And if this lawyer can't see, this lawyer's trying to get an interview or something with Big Meech, obviously. But he's like, 50 Cent is wrong for accusing Big Meech of snitching. He obviously didn't look through Cuffy's case and look at Discovery and look at what Tammy Cowan said. Okay? There was an attempt. And in that attempt, Cuffy got the spotlight put on him. It's Cuffy's fault, too. Because Cuffy was greedy. Okay? Cuffy was greedy. Trying to look for deals, even though he just did time in jail. And he got caught up. And he's in jail now. He blames Meech and Tammy when he should really be blaming himself for being greedy. He could have opened anything else and lived a normal life, and your freedom is priceless. He could have done anything else. He could have worked driving for Amazon, worked at Walmart, any regular job, which is honorable, and you go home at night and you have the freedom to eat what you want, do what you want, right? But he wanted to drive Bentleys and everything else. So it's Cuffy's fault. But Big Meech isn't some stand-up guy that we should all look at. You know, he's not. Maybe before he went to jail. But he's not a stand-up dude. He got out because of the step back, 2 step backs, right? There was time reductions. So it was going to be 30 years, became 20 years. That's how he got out. Is 50 Cent wrong? No. But I will say this. 50 Cent made this too personal when he just should have. I understand that. See, one part of him wanted to stop him from going out and making more money and more moves and really expose what happened. But he went so hard at him that it's like it almost got too personal to where you can't move forward with the BMF show. It looks funny, you know? There's probably a better, more mature way to handle it on both. Well, really on 50's part, because really Big Meech is stuck as a 30-year-old, you know, like in his mind, you know. So he's making young moves where he's trying to get with 50's ops to bother 50, which it doesn't matter. Getting with Mayweather and Rick Ross ain't going to do nothing. And nobody can say that Big Meech didn't know. He knows. He's very plugged in. He's not ignorant to anything that's going on. But this lawyer is completely wrong, and it's very weird, the stance he's taking. It's like almost like he has a personal. It's being paid by Big Meech. Then we got Jay-Z. So the Buzzbee case. He's taking Buzzbee to court. Says he missed out on a $200 million deal. And Buzzbee is the cause of that for putting false accusations on him. And that turned out to not be true. Buzzbee's going to go out of business from this. Jay-Z could absolutely prove that he missed out on a $200 million deal. All he would have to do was have, during that time, a company rescind a proposal. And it could have been a favor just to shut this lawyer down. This lawyer should have never went at Jay-Z. That was a mistake. And this, in turn, will probably free Shannon Sharpe from his problem. Because Buzzbee's going to be very focused on protecting whatever assets or anything he has. It probably won't be able to practice law anymore. Probably have to. I'm sure he's already has all his assets and everything in a LLC. But hopefully he has enough money to retire. Because Jay-Z's not going to stop. Then we got Meg Thee Stallion. She was streaming at Met Gala when she wasn't supposed to. She got in trouble. Who cares? They're charging $50,000 a plate, aren't they? Meek Mill and Diddy's matching outfit goes by. So Meek is named in Diddy's case, I guess. I don't know. You know, I know Meek Mill's going through it right now. This is a lot for him. His bestie bromance is in court now. It's a lot. YNW Melly could be released today if a judge approves motion for his bond. This would be a miracle, but I've seen weirder things happen, so I'm not going to count it out. But I think it would be a stretch. Keeping him in jail for 7 years, now all of a sudden he makes bond. We'll see. Anyways, this is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. I will check you guys on the next one. Peace.